Hello, my beautiful, lovely people. Welcome back to my channel. Um, if this is your first time watching, welcome to my new subscribers. And those of you, if this is your first time watching, please like and subscribe. I pray that you be blessed by the content that I share on this channel. Here on this channel, I share Bibles. Can't even get it out, y'all. Bible study. I share morning devotion. I share the Dollar Tree haul. But welcome. So yesterday I did the morning devotion, and I told you all that I had a video that I'm to share with you on how God He healed me. So I'm gonna share that with you all. I was rushing to. I had a funeral today. I've been busy all this week. Just came from a funeral, y'all. I still got my usher uniform on. I have to usher a funeral today. So if I'm sound like that, I'm a little out of breath. That's because I got home and I said, you know what, let me do this video. Let me do this video before I get out my clothes. So with so a couple like a week ago, I think it was about a week. It might have been a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Me and my daughter, we went out to eat. We went out to eat. Well, one of them, not both of my daughters. It was just one of us because I have twin girls. So one of us, one of my twin girls, we went out to eat to this restaurant. And this restaurant. They have like a different type of pizza and pasta. So it was like on a Friday. So they had like this buffet style. This buffet style, like you can eat all different type of pizza that you want, for this, for like this price. And so we went and we was eating different type of pizza and pasta. We tried about maybe 3 or 4 different type of pizza we was eating it, and then we was eating some pasta. And so I didn't think none of it because the food was good. The food was good. I enjoyed the food. And so, but when they brought out this pasta, it looked like they had this stuff on top of it, and it looked like coconut. And my daughter, I asked her, and she was like, she don't think it was coconut. So I didn't think none of it. I ate the food, enjoyed the food. The next day, which was a Saturday, I start this itching. I start this itching on my body, and I'm like, what is this? And I know usually sometime when I eat too much, if it's too much sugar, I'll start itching. But I hadn't had that sugar, no sugar that week. I haven't had anything sweet. If I usually when I eat too much sweet, I start itching. But I ain't had no that much sweet that week. So I'm like, what is this? What can it possibly be? And so then here it is, another day. There's some, maybe it was was it that Sunday? Yeah, I think it was a Sunday. So it started getting really bad. It started getting really bad. And so then, now mind you, I can't see a doctor until next month. I can't see my doctor until next month, the 1st of May next month. And so I'm trying all type of stuff. I'm trying Benadryl. I was using Benadryl. Benadryl usually help when I'm having an allergic reaction. Benadryl wasn't helping. So I'm using this stuff. It's called caramel lotion. It's some stuff. I didn't even know they still sell it. But the last time, I believe it was last year when I had an allergic reaction, um, I, um, I got some caramel. I purchased it. And so I had it ever since. And when I used it, it was working. And so this time it was not working. So I said, okay, then let me try the aloe vera plant. The aloe vera plant wasn't working. And I'm like, oh my God, what can this be? So the final thing what I used was no cortisone. I was using cortisone. When the cortisone didn't work, then that's when I got the blessed oil and I started anointing myself all over. And the blessed oil was like, it was kind of helping some. And so then I began to pray, like, God, what is this? I'm like, what is it? What is something, it was something I ate and I was just itching. And then that's when the Lord, He spoke to me in prayer and He told me what it was. He told me, like, He said, wood grain. He said, wood grain. So when you think of wood grain, so I'm thinking something else, I'm thinking like furniture material or something, but He said wood grain. He told me pizza. He said wood grain. He said pizza. And so when I went to go look up the place where we ate from, and I looked up the pizza, then I saw wood grain. I was like, wow. It was like wood grains, and it was like the different ingredients and stuff that was in the pizza, the stuff that they put on the pizza. And he told me the pizza that you ate, them ingredients, you're having a reaction from that. And I was like, oh, wow. I'm like, Lord. And so then he told me, he said, Melissa, go on a 3-day fast. And so I went on a 3-day fast, and the first day, you all, oh my God, Lord, it was just like, I'm be honest, the girl was crying. I started crying. I'm like, Lord, this gotta stop. I can't see my doctor until next week. I said, you are my doctor. You are my doctor. I said, you are my doctor. And so some of you might be asking, why didn't you go to the hospital? Why didn't you go to the emergency room? It's because I can't go to the hospital or emergency room. It's because I have this new insurance. And so I can't see my doctor until next month. I can't see my new doctor. I can't see her until next month. And so my new insurance didn't take effect to next month. So that's why you probably said, why you didn't go to the emergency room? That's why I didn't go to the emergency room. It's because my insurance didn't take effect to next month. And then I don't want to pay that much money out of pocket just to be seen. So then I was like, Lord, what? Like, Lord, I need your help. I'm like, and so then he began to bring to my remembrance. This time when I was working at the school, I had this student. I'm not gonna say his name, keep it confidential. But there was this student, like I took, fond of, and so he had an allergic reaction. He couldn't have peanuts. And so the teachers, they had some peanuts, and he had an allergic reaction, and he began to turn like, he began to have halves all on his face and his body. And so they called me because during the time I was working at the school as a health aide. So they called me downstairs to get him so I can call his parent. And when I got downstairs, the counselor, the school counselor was holding him, trying to, they were trying to console him, trying to comfort him any way they can. So when I came downstairs, I saw his face. He had red halves in his face, all on his body, and he's just crying. And so then the school counselor gave it to me, and I took him to the bathroom. We went to the bathroom, and because the school counselor, he was like, take him to the bathroom. He was like, run some steam and water. Sometimes the steam might help. So we turned the steam on, like all this, like while we wait on his mom. We waiting on his mom, his mom to come. We didn't have, I don't think at the time, I don't know if they had an EpiPen at the time, but there for him. And so then we took him to the bathroom, and then the Lord began to tell me to pray. He said, pray. So while I'm holding him, I'm praying, like, Lord, touch his body, heal his body. And so he began to, start breathing on his own. So as I got him calmed down, I was able to hold him and console him, keep him calm, until his mom came and got him. And so from that day on, whenever they would have lunch, and if they had peanuts, they would send him to me. They send him, and they'll be put him in the main office, or they'll send him to my room, so he can't be in the room, because if it's anything you're allergic to, you can't be close by it. I remember there was a time I was working at a daycare center. One of my staff was allergic to strawberries, and she couldn't be in the same room with the strawberry. So that's how it was with him. They would send him to the care room. They would send him to me, and me and him. I don't say his name. We built a relationship. We built a bond. He was just so sweet and so loving. You know, I would have him in a room with me, and I would give him this coloring book, and he would color pictures. And so I would take his pictures, and I would just put it in my room. So when he come in, I told him to sign his name on it. And so he just, grew so fun. We just came real close. So the Lord brought that back to me, like that student. I'm just gonna say Tommy. I'm not gonna say his name. I just say Tommy. So Lord brought back to me, like, remember Tommy when he had allergic reaction? What did you do? And he said Tommy had hives. Like he was telling me, like he got hives all on his body. He couldn't breathe. But you, Melissa, I ain't have no hives or anything. I looked at my body. I didn't have no hives on my body. I was just itching. I just felt it itching on the inside. And so he began to tell me, and you can breathe. Like you can breathe. You have no hives. Like Tommy had it worse than you. Right now, what you're going, your symptoms are mild. You can breathe. You don't have any hives. And so then I made it through the first day, then the second day, and then the third day, because he told me going a 3-day fast, and he was like, in 3 days, like I'm gonna raise you up. You're gonna be back to yourself again. So the third day, after the third day, the itching was gone. The itching was gone, y'all. The itching had stopped. It was gone. And I was just thanking God, like, Lord, I thank you. I thank you for healing my body. But on that first day, I think it was the first day when I was going through that and I was experiencing it. And the reason why I titled this Just Grab. just reach for his garment. Just reach for his garment, because while I was going through this itching and irritation in my body, I began to pray and I was crying out to God. And then I told the Lord, I said, Lord, I feel like the woman. I feel like the woman with the issue of blood, how she just said, if I can just grab a hold to his garment, how I can grab a hold to his garment, and then will I be made whole. And so that's how I felt. I was like, Lord, right now I'm just reaching for your garment. I'm reaching for your garment because I want to be made whole. I said, I want to be made whole. And so I'm in prayer and I'm on my knees and I'm just crying out and I'm thinking about the woman with the issue of blood. And I said, I'm just grabbing your garment right now. Just grab your garment so you can heal me. And so as I began to do that, and then I went to the story that we were going to read about this. I want to read it with you all. So for those of you, you might be going through something in your body, some type of illness in your body, and just like me, or the woman with the issue of blood, I want to encourage you on today. Just reach for his garment. Reach for his garment in prayer. Say, Lord, I'm reaching for your garment. I need a healing. I need a healing in my body. So I'm reaching for your garment. I want to be made whole. And so we're going to read it. It's in Mark chapter 5, verse 24 to 34. Um, we're going to go there in a few minutes. I'm trying to see if it's anything else. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, so we're going to go there. We're going to go to Mark. Go to Mark 25. We're going to read it. And I'm reading from my study Bible. And I want to read you what that verse is talking about. And this is 25. And a certain woman which had an issue of blood 12 years, and had suffered many things of many physicians, and had spent all that she had, and was nothing better. And was nothing better. So that means she has spent all that she had. All that she had. This woman, she went to, just like me, I'm up here, like I said, I use Benadryl, I use caramel lotion, I use cortisone. So this lady went to even to see a physician. The physician couldn't help her. She couldn't use all she had. They said she used all that she had. Let's go back. A certain one which had an issue of blood 12 years and had suffered many things of many physicians. Suffered many things of many physicians. She went to see a physician. She went to see a physician and had spent all that she had. So I just want to paraphrase that she spent all that she had on going to see a doctor. So that's just like me. I couldn't go see a doctor until next month. And then if I would have went to the emergency room, I would, like the woman, an issue of blood, would have to pay out of my pocket to see this physician. And what if they couldn't help me? What if they couldn't help me? Thank God that I have a relationship with the Father. And He told me what it was and He told me what to do. Because He knew. I'm like, Lord, I can't go see a doctor until next month. So He told me what to do. I need you to go on a 3-day fast. I need you to go on a 3-day fast because with all that I ate, whatever it was that was in my system, I had to clean it out. It had to get cleaned out so the itching can stop. And so, like the woman with the issue of blood, it says she used all that she had, y'all. Used all that she had. And I'm just paraphrasing. She probably did the same. It could have been the same thing I could have did. She could have used Benadryl. She could have used caramel lotion. She could have used aloe vera plant. Used all that she had. And when she saw that that wasn't working. And she heard that Jesus was passing through. He was in town. And she knew that he was a healer, just like me. Used all that I had. I used all that I had. Y'all listening? Y'all getting this? I use caramel lotion. I use Benadryl, cortisone. Then I'm like, maybe I need to go see a doctor. Come see a doctor till next week. But how many of you know? How many of you know that I know a doctor? We know a doctor that when we can't go see, when you can't go see your earthly doctor, you have a heavenly doctor. You have a heavenly doctor. All you got to do is go to the throne and pray and say, Lord, I need you. I need to be healed. I seen what you did to the woman with the issue of blood. I seen how you raised Lazarus from the dead. I seen how you gave sight back to the blind. I seen how you made the lame to walk again. I seen. Some doctors, they can't do that. They can't even do that. They can't even do that. And so she knew that the healer was walking past. I'm just paraphrasing. She knew the healer was coming past, and she said, oh, if I could just reach for his garment. The healer is coming past. The healer is coming through my town. If I could just reach for his garment. And I just want to encourage you on today, for those of you who might be going through some type of illness in your body, the healer Jesus, he is passing through. He's passing through your neighborhood. He passing through your workplace. And all you got to do is just reach for his garment. Reach for it. Reach for his garment, just like the woman with the issue of blood. Just like me, I had this irritation in my body, having an allergic reaction. Didn't know what it was. Didn't know what it was until he told me in prayer. And I just want to encourage you, like, when you have a connection in a relationship with the Heavenly Father, you can go through him, you can go to him, and he can tell you what is going on in your body. He can tell you what this is what's wrong with you. This is what's wrong. This is what's causing this irritation. This is what's causing this sickness. He can tell you what's wrong, and he can tell you what you need. This is what you need to do. You need to eat better. You need to eat better. You need to sleep better. You need to exercise. You know, when you go to the Father, when you go to the Father, when you pray, this is why it's so important to have a prayer consistent life. Because when you have a prayer consistent life, you know, you praying the Lord, you know, He reveal some things to you. He reveal some things to you in prayer. And I did some series on this, the principle of prayer. Why you pray? Why are you supposed to pray? Why do we pray? You know, I used in my playlist, you can go back and watch. It's called The Principles of Prayer. This lady, evangelist at my church, she wrote a book, and I did a series on her book. But this is why it's so important that you need to have a consistent prayer life. Because if I didn't have like the consistent prayer life that I had, I wouldn't be able to hear he telling me this is what's wrong with your body, Melissa. I would have been going on for some days, just eating, you know. But this is what he told me, Melissa. I need you to go on a 3-day fast. And the last time the Lord told me to do this fast, do a fast, like one time, I think it maybe about, it was back in, it might be back in May, because I think I had Jazz when I had left that job. And I was having pains in my side, pains in my stomach. Didn't know what it was. Pain in my stomach, didn't know what it was. And I think I shared this testimony. Didn't know what it was. And he told me to go on a week fast. I went on a week fast. And when I went on a week fast, you know, and then he led me, okay, now you go to the doctor. And then when I went to the doctor, they ran tests, all these tests, and they came back and said they couldn't find nothing. And so then the lady, she told me we could do this ultrasound test on your stomach. And so then I'm laying in the emergency room, and he told me, he said, tell her you want that test. And so I said, yeah, I want that test. And so when she got the test, and that's when they found, she said, you have like a cyst on your ovary. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, Lord Jesus. But she told me, she was like, it's not cancerous. And she was like, you know, to the cyst that you have, like it'll, you know, it'll go away on its own, you know. And so then I'm like, okay. So after I knew what it was, I came home. I came home and I just would pray. I would pray over my stomach. I would just pray on it. And then the pain, let me tell y'all, and I think I shared this in one of my videos. God healed. Oh, it's in the video. So you all want to hear the testimony. It's called it's something with the leprosy. Jesus heals his hand. One of them. You want to be the one. That's the name of it. It's called You Want to Be the One to Go Back and Tell God Thank You. And basically in that video, God, one day I was praying, and then God told me, he said, can I get a thank you? Like, can I get a thank you? And I'm like, and I'm on my knees, and I'm like, Lord, like, you know, yes, I thank you. Like, what? He was like, I healed you. Like, I healed you. Remember, that's cyst you had on your ovary? I healed you, Melissa. I healed you. You didn't even know. I noticed, you know, I ain't until he told me, like, I wasn't feeling the pain no more. And he said, I healed you. Can I get a thank you? And so here I am in my bedroom. I'm just in the room. I just start praying, start magnifying him. Lord, I thank you. I thank you. And then what struck my attention was the story of the 10 lepers, and how one of them went back and thanked him. One of them went back and told him thank you. And he said, You want to be the one. Like, you want to be the one. You want to be the one to say thank you. You want to be the one to say thank you. So I just want to share this with you all, because as I'm sharing this testimony, how he healed me, and I'm thinking about, that time he had me to go on a fast that time. He had me to go on a fast. So anytime when I know God, he lead me to go on a fast, it's something important. It's something important. It's something that he would reveal to me. So I'm glad that I was obedient and I went on a 3-day fast. So he was able to let me know, like, this is what's wrong with you, you know? And so when I go to the doctor next month, one of my sisters in Christ, she was telling me, she was like, when you go to the doctor, tell them to test you for everything. Tell them when you take the allergy test you for everything, Because the last time I took an allergy, they tested me. They claimed they said they didn't find nothing, because I said I want to see what's allergic to sugar. And my test result came back and they said, no, you're not allergic to sugar. And so, but she said, when you go this time, tell them to test you for everything. Because, I ate the food was good the next day. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, Lord, what is this? And he revealed to me, what it was. So, but I just want to encourage you, beautiful, lovely people, on today. You know, um, God is still in the healing business. He's still in the healing business. Still in the healing business. He's still on the throne. And I'm gonna share this with you all, and then I'm gonna let you all go, because I gotta. It's another video. I want to do this other video with you all. Now, it's gonna bless you, but it's the introduction video to the series that I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna do that next. So be on the lookout for that video. What I want to share this with you all is because when I was thinking about God is still in the healing business, and how he raised Lazarus from the dead. He gave the sight back to the blind, made the blind man, the lame walk again. And I was thinking about the story. There's a video I did. There's another video. Y'all go check that video out. But it's a video I did on my brother. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. 1 second, y'all. But I just want to share this with you all to bless you all. For those of you might be going through something, got a sickness, illness in your body, just like me, and they probably telling you can't go see your doctor. I want you to know, you get on your knees, or wherever you at, go to the throne and you pray. Say, Lord, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what this is, what's going on in my body. I don't know. And if you do know what is going on in your body, you know, you go to God in prayer and you pray. Say, Lord, I'm like, like I said, Lord, like the one with the Lord, I'm reaching for your garment. I am reaching for your garment, Lord. I'm reaching for your garment. And I want you to asking you to heal me. And he said, ask. He said, you have not because you ask not. And so here I am. Didn't have to get no medication or anything. Get no medication. Um, Benadryl wasn't working. Cortisone wasn't working. Aloe vera wasn't working. And so God led me to go on a 3-day fast. And so this is a video. It's called how my brother became blind in his passing. And so the reason why I mention this video is because when you think about, when I said Jesus giving sight back to blind, here was my brother. I'm just go give you all a brief of. I'm going to tell you the whole story. If you want to hear the story, you can go watch this video, and it's titled on how my brother became blind in his passing. So my brother, he had got shot. He had shot in the face 5 times, and then it went through his back, and so he lost his eyesight. He had lost his eyesight. He wasn't able to see. He was blind, and so one day I heard my brother praying. I heard him praying. He was on his knees, and I heard him say, "I see the light." He said, "I see the light." God had began to give my brother like some of his. I give him his eyesight back. He began to start seeing things, seeing colors and stuff. One time I had these little pants on, and he knew what color they was. He knew what color they was, and so he was began to get his eyesight back. And so my mom, she told him, she said, Marshall, I believe God will give you fully back your eyesight if you would stop doing what you was doing because of the lifestyle that he was living. She said, I believe that God will give you back, your fully eyesight if you would stop doing what you're doing. So, but to make a long story short, I'm not gonna go give you all the whole story. You gotta go watch the video. But to make a long story short, I just want you all to know that if you have a sickness in your body, whatever it is that's in your body, it could be something mild, just like allergic reaction, just like me. Pray. Touch the hem of his garment. If you can't get to a doctor, I just want you to know you have a heavenly doctor. You have a heavenly doctor that you can go to and say, Lord, I need to be made whole. I need you to heal me. You did it for the woman with the issue of blood. You raised, give him back his word. Say you raised Lazarus from the dead. You made the man walk again. Give him back his word. Just pray and you tell him, say, God, I need you to heal me. And that's what I did that first day. Because that first day, I think it was like the worst. Like it was real, like my symptoms, it was real bad. And so I was just crying. I began to cry. And that's when he began to show me the little boy at the school. He began to show me the little boy at the school, like, what did you do? Like, Melissa, what did you do? And then the tears just started falling because I'm thinking about the little boy and how I had built a relationship with him. And I'm like, oh, I miss him. And I'm like, and I'm just thinking about him. And I'm like, man, I'm looking like, no, you don't have no, Melissa, you don't have no hives. You can breathe. You're able to talk. And so I just thank God, for his healing power, I just thank him for touching me, for healing me, that I wasn't able. He taught me that day that, you are not able to get to a doctor. You can come to me. You can come to me, Melissa. You can come to me. After you done tried everything else. Just like they said, the woman with the issue of blood. And we're going to finish reading this, and then I'm in the video. And it said, and has spent all that she had, and was nothing better, but rather grew worse. When she had heard of Jesus, came in the prayer and pressed behind him and touched his garment. We have verse 28. For she said, if I may touch but his clothes, I shall be whole. Verse 29. And straightway the fountain of her blood was dried up. Straightway the fountain of her blood was dried up. So after she had touched the hem of his garment, the fountain of her blood was dried up. It was dried up. And she felt in her body that she was healed of that plague. Verse 20. And Jesus immediately, knowing in himself that virtue had gone out of him, turned him about in the press and said, who touched me? Who touched me? Because he noticed when she touched him, like power, like he felt like power. His power went out. And he said, who touched me? He said, who touched my clothes? And his disciples said unto him, thou seest the multitude thronging thee, and sayest thou, who touched me? And he looked round about to see her that had done this thing. But the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what was done in her, came and fell down before him, and told him all the truth. Verse 34. And he said unto her, daughter, thy faith has made thee whole. Go in peace, and be whole of that pledge. And they stop right there. So this is Mark chapter 25, Mark chapter 25 through verse 34. So I want to encourage you on today. If you're going through something type of healing in your illness in your body, I encourage you to read Mark. Read Mark chapter 5, verse 25 through 34. And this is a woman of the issue of blood, how Jesus healed her. And so I want to read you all what that verse is talking about. And it said, this woman had an incurable condition. She had an incurable condition causing her to bleed constantly. This may have been a menstruation or a urinary disorder, which would have made her ritually unclean. In the book of Leviticus 15, 25 and 27, it included her from most social contacts. She desperately wanted Jesus to heal her, but she knew that her bleeding would cause Jesus to be unclean. Jewish law, if she touched him, she If she touched him, still she reached out by faith and was healed. Sometimes we feel our problem will make us from God, will keep us from God. But he is always ready to help, and we should never allow our fear to keep us from approaching him. And it said Jesus was not angry with this woman for touching him. He knew she had touched him, but he stopped and asked who did it in order to teach her something about faith. Although she was healed when she touched him, Jesus said her faith caused the cure. Genuine faith involves action. Faith that isn't put into action is not faith at all. So this woman, she put her faith into action. Put her faith into action because she's here. She see Jesus. Jesus passing through, and she already knows. Like they said, the Jewish law. They said that anybody that's because of the condition that she had, that she couldn't be around, be around other people, because it would cause them to be unclean. Even like Jesus, you're thinking Jesus, if I touch him, he gonna be unclean. This is what she's thinking. I'm just paraphrasing. Like, can you imagine in your mind you have this condition, and Jewish law tell you, if you're in close contact around different people, it will cause them to be unclean. And so here it is. You see Jesus, he passing by, and you thinking like, even if I touch him, he gonna be unclean. But her faith, she put her faith into action because she said, you know what? I know what the Jewish law said. The Jewish law said that I can't be around people. The Jewish law said that even if I touch him, he gonna be unclean. But you know what? Her faith. This lets you know. You say, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to be healed? She wants to be healed really bad. It's because she said, you know what? Even though they telling me I shouldn't be out in public around other people. They're telling me I can't even be around this man. He's a healer. But you know what? I'm going to test my faith. I'm taking my faith into action. And so she grabbed the hem of his garment. She grabbed the hem of his garment. And after she grabbed the hem of his garment, they say something you might be afraid. Like, okay, he turned around. He looked at you like, who touched me? And so she kind of like she was afraid. But and to her surprise, Jesus turned around and looked at her and said, hey, daughter. Like, oh, hey, daughter. Your faith, you stepped out. Your faith has made you whole. It's because you went over what the Jewish law said. Your faith has made you whole. So I just want to encourage anyone on today, like, put your faith into action. Put your faith into action and reach for his garment in prayer. So you know what? I know what they saying. They telling me this. They telling me I can't be healed. I can't be, but I'm grabbing onto you, Lord. I'm grabbing on the hem of your garment, Lord. I'm trusting and believing that you are going to heal me. You're going to heal me. You the same God. You are the same God. So I pray that you all was blessed by this message. I pray that it encouraged you, share this video with someone. Share this video with your loved one, someone you might know that they might be going through a sickness in their body. Share this with them to let them know that God is still in the healing business. I'm a living testimony. I'm a living testimony. I share so many testimonies. I wasn't supposed to be here at the age of 5. I wasn't supposed to be here, but a man named Jesus, the man named Jesus said, you know what? She shall live and not die. She shall live and not die. And so this is why I'm able to be on here with you lovely people on today, because men named Jesus say, you know what? She shall not die. She shall live and not die and declare the works of the Lord. So I pray that you all have a blessed day. Until next time, it's your girl, Melissa. God bless.